Welcome back to the channel, friends. Today, we're diving deep into another fascinating coin from American history. History and value of this video. So let's get started. The $quarter coin of the United States dated 1965 is one of the most historically important and widely collected coins in modern American coinage. And when we discuss its full long value and old condition, we must take into account not just its market price, but also its background, history, design, metal composition, mintage numbers, circulation story, grading, special errors, and the role it played in U.S. monetary history. This coin is part of the Washington Quarter series, which first appeared in 1932 on the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, designed by John Flanagan, and the design remained on quarters until 1998. The obverse of the 1965 coin shows Washington facing left with the bold word Liberty across the top, the motto, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the date 1965 centered at the bottom. The reverse shows a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, perched firmly on a bundle of arrows that signify military preparedness, with olive branches underneath to signify peace, and the inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum above the eagle, with the denomination $quarter below. The coin has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, a reeded edge, and weighs 5.67 grams in its standard clad form. Its importance comes from the fact that it was the first U.S. quarter struck in clad composition. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper and weighed 6.25 grams. But in the early 1960s, silver prices rose dramatically, and people began hoarding silver coins for their bullion value, causing a serious shortage of circulating coinage. In response, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, which authorized the U.S. Mint to eliminate silver from quarters and dimes, and to reduce silver in half dollars from 90% to 40%. Starting with the 1965 issue, the Washington quarter was made of an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery look but no real bullion value. Because the government feared that collectors would continue to hoard new coins, the Mint also decided to remove mint marks between 1965 and 1967, which means that every 1965 quarter looks like it was minted in Philadelphia, even though multiple mint facilities helped in production. The mintage was huge. More than 1.8 billion pieces were struck in 1965, a record for the time, because the Mint wanted to flood the economy with new clad coins to make up for the shortage. This enormous production run means that the 1965 quarter is extremely common, and in old circulated condition, the kind that has been in pockets, purses, and cash registers for decades. It is worth only its face value of 25 cents. A typical old condition coin will show worn-down details on Washington's hair and cheek, flat breast feathers on the eagle, and overall dullness or scratches from circulation, making it of no premium value. Yet, even though most are common, the 1965 quarter is famous for a very rare and valuable mistake. The 1965 silver transitional error quarter. A small number of 1,965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These error coins look similar to clad quarters, but can be identified by their weight of 6.25 grams instead of 5.67, their solid silver edges without the visible copper stripe, and their metallic sound. Because they contain 90% silver and are extremely rare, these coins can sell for $3,000 to over $10,000 depending on condition, with some certified examples fetching even higher prices at auction. Other types of errors also exist, such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, double die varieties, and quarters struck on wrong planchets like dime blanks, which can make a coin worth $50 to several $100s or more. For the vast majority of regular clad 1965 quarters, value beyond face value depends entirely on condition. In about uncirculated AU grades, where a coin shows only slight wear, it might bring 50 cents to $1.50. In mint state, MS65 gem uncirculated condition, a coin could sell for $10 to $25. Truly superb examples graded MS67 or higher are very scarce and can command $500 to $1,500 or more, because collectors who build registry sets will pay high premiums for the best-known examples. Coins with strong strikes, brilliant luster, or attractive natural toning are especially desirable. Therefore, when giving the full long value of a 1965 quarter in old condition, the conclusion is that in normal circulated state it is worth only 25 cents because of its massive mintage and lack of silver content. Its real financial value comes only if it is one of the rare silver transitional errors or a spectacular mint error, or if it survives in an unusually high mint state grade. However, its historical value is enormous because it represents the end of silver coinage in everyday circulation and the beginning of the modern clad era. It tells the story of the silver crisis of the 1960s, the U.S. Mint's efforts to keep coins in circulation, and the way economic pressures can reshape the very money people use every day. Even an old worn 1965 quarter that is only worth 25 cents in the market still carries this story in its metal, and that is why collectors often save one as a type coin to mark the birth of clad coinage. In short, the 1965 quarter dollar in old condition is generally face value only, but as a historical artifact it holds lasting importance, and in rare special cases it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars.